Welcome back. My next guest is an award winning mental health speaker and advocate. He's also the host of Life in Red podcast. I'm joined by Ryan Forsyth. Ryan, great to see you. Always a pleasure talking to you. You and I had a chance to have a great, half hour sit down to share your story. Let's share that story here as briefly as we have as far as time goes. But I want you to share your story and tell people about your story of mental illness.
So I've been suffering from anxiety and depression for almost all my life since I was 12 years old. And in 2015, I first shared my story. But that story also came with the caveat that in 2012, I tried to end my life. So after I shared it actually on a Let's Talk day like today, I started advocating on social media, then became a public speaker, a fundraiser, and that progression has just kind of continued on as I've grown older and continued to battle mental illness.
And Ryan, I want you to talk a little bit about how you are making a difference because I think some people believe, they put in all this work and they share their story and they don't think they are. And it really just takes one person and it builds on that, Ryan. And you've helped so many people. I follow you on social media and I've just explain how often it is that, people reach out to you and how much they appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you, first of all, for those kind words. I would say I get messages daily. And what's quite incredible is sometimes it's people I know, friends and family. Sometimes it's people I'm loosely connected to. And then other times it's complete strangers reaching out with just something I said or something they saw or even something I shared. You talk to any advocate who's been doing this for a while, they'll say that, it's great to save so many lives, but if you just have one, just knowing you made a difference with one person, I mean, that's truly one of the most gratifying feelings I think you can ever experience.
Ryan, let's talk a little bit about men's mental health because men oftentimes internalize things and they don't feel comfortable. I think there's still a stigma, of course, when it comes to mental health across the board, and I think some men feel it even more so. Can you speak on that a little?
Yeah, we're conditioned from a very early age that showing emotion, being sad, crying, all of those are traditionally like more feminine traits. So we as men are kind of socially conditioned and brought up in the sense that we have to be strong, that we have to lead, that any sign of weakness is going to set us back. And I think it's important to recognize that real strength is admitting when you're not okay, admitting when you're vulnerable. That's not an easy thing to do. Even someone like myself who talks about this all the time, it's not always the most easy thing to come forward with something I might be struggling with. So that's the message I always want to give to men and especially young men, that when you speak up, it releases that burden, that heavy feeling, that weight you've been carrying around. And it gives you an opportunity to not only work on those things, but continuously get better as time moves on.
Yeah, and what do you think we can do better as men as well when it comes to things like toxic masculinity, Ryan?
I mean, my version of that, like masculinity, is just whatever feels right to you. So I let my sisters paint my nails here over the weekend, and I
Nice.
think that's totally cool. It makes
Yeah,
feels like a rocker. But
right on.
there's not one way to be a man. I always like to say that I'm a hockey player. I like metal music or traditionally more masculine things, but I also like musicals. I also like to dance or do things that might be seen as not manly. So what we can do is just really embrace the parts of ourselves that we enjoy and not view things as manly or feminine, but also support other people who are doing that. And when you see someone speaking out or really living their most authentic life, we should support them. We should encourage them. We should send our love to them because I think that's the most important thing. If we all embrace it, we'll continuously see strides into the future.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. A great point to end our conversation on. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want to tell everybody, by the way, if you want to find more conversations like this, you can visit Ryan's podcast. It is lifeinredpodcast.com. Thanks so much for joining us on this Let's Talk Day, and we'll see you next time here on Daytime.